Hi, I'm Dave from Megalith Games, and this is Godslayer. Cue dramatic music. So, what is Godslayer? Godslayer is a tabletop skirmish for 5 to 50 miniatures on either side, and is set in a low fantasy, Bronze Age kind of world, based on classical and ancient cultures. So we have 6 factions at the moment. The first one is Banebrood, and that contains the barbarian tribes and also bestial men like minotaurs and centaurs. Then we have Halodines, which is based on ancient Greeks. They have temple warriors, they have city-states, and they have Amazons. Then we have, the next faction is Mortons. Mortons are based on Roman culture, but it's a dark version. So they have weapons like alchemical weapons with poison, gas, fire. Then they also have the regular legions and elite troops, and they also have undead. So the Legio Mortem are legionnaires which have been reanimated. Fourth faction is Nordgard. Nordgard's based on Vikings, not just human Vikings, but also ogre Vikings, dwarf Vikings, and some giants. The fifth faction is Troglodytes, and they're the elemental race of Shadow. Visually they're based on Mongol tribes, and they have the regular trolls. They also have shadow trolls, and also gnolls, which are a kind of goblinoid race. And the final faction is Wildfolk. They're based on Celtic culture, and they have regular tribal troops, they have nomadic troops, and they also have warriors who are pledged to defend nature. So that's the 6 factions. There are others planned, and we'll go into more detail on them in another section. Now, Godslayer has a richly detailed background, and it has great miniatures, but the best thing about the game, I would say, is the rules. Now, there are 5 or 6 cornerstones for the rules, the first of which is 2d6 system. So, instead of 1d6, we roll 2d6, and this gives a better probability curve, and we can control the outcome more, and it gives us a wider range of statistics that we can use. Second thing is the action token system. Now, each model and unit has a certain number of actions they can perform in a turn. And you can perform actions in any order. There are no phases in Godslayer system. So you can run, shoot, fight, or cast a spell, then fight, and then run, or you can charge, make a second attack. You can do things in basically any order, which adds super realism to the game. So you're not bound by artificial phases. The third aspect of the game is the turnaround play. So instead of me activating all of my models and units, doing everything, and then the opponent doing the same, I activate one model or unit, then the opponent activates one model or unit, then it turns around like that. Now this has the advantage of keeping the game constantly interesting for both players. It also makes it more dynamic and more tactical. So, the fourth aspect of the game is the combat system. Now, when my units are charged by the enemy and they're attacked, if I have action tokens free which haven't been spent yet, then I can make counterattacks. Godslayer allows players to use a lot of special rules to create combos. This allows a great depth of play, but you don't need to rely on that to win the game. Secondly, there are profile cards. Every model and unit has its own profile card, which has its statistics listed and all of the special rules. So you don't have to go leafing through books to find out what rules a model has. It's all listed on the profile card, as you can see here. Additionally, warlords, which are the leaders of the warbands, are able to equip items. Now, that means weapons, armor, spells, potions, etc. This makes every warlord possible to tailor. So every time you play a warlord, it can be played in a different way. So the game has endless variety and possibilities. So what's the Kickstarter for? Well, Godslayer's been around for 4 years now, steadily building up a loyal fan base, but we need to speed up the release schedule so that we can get models out to people faster. That means we need finance. So what we're doing is launching the game as a battle box. That means 2 factions plus the rules. Additionally, we're launching Wave 2 of the game, and that includes a starter box for each of the 6 factions. And finally, we're re-releasing the rules and a new package which has the rule book, the army book, and the fluff book. So what's the future of Godslayer? Well, we've got Wave 2 coming, and that means 15 releases for each of the factions. And this Kickstarter is going to help us finance that. At some point during Wave 2, we'll release a Wave 2 army book, which has all the profile cards and art for each of the models. Then we have also, during the Kickstarter stretch goals, Mercenaries sub-faction, which is a new sub-faction for the game. Later in the year or early next year, we'll release 2 new factions. That's Stygian races, Gorgons, etc., and our version of Persians. After that, we have Wave 3 coming, and Wave 3 will introduce flyers and chariots to Godslayer. So, there you have it. I really hope you'll join the Godslayer community. I'm sure you'll love the game. I love the game. It's a fantastic game to play. If you want to check it out, have a look at the Let's Play video. You can also download the core rules for free, and as well as the profile cards, and you can proxy the minis, test the game rules yourself. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.